So welcome back. We're going now to do daily energy tune-up. This is something I do each and every day. The purpose is to set up your system so it's open to the full flow of energy and potentials, and collapsing any blocks the same, which could include your healing potentials. It is something I do each and every day because I want my energies to be moving in the best directions, both for myself and for my clients, of course. I don't want to do anything that can negate their healing or health or my own. So it's to set things up, because we don't know what's happened overnight. Things can get disturbing, so it sets you up mentally, physically, spiritually, and I can redo some of these things during the course of a day if I notice any disturbance coming at me, and that can include having something to eat even that shifts my emotional status. Or even having an argument with your partner, that can knock you for a bit of a loop. So it's a good idea to do this daily, and plus any additional times if you're having any problems during the course of a day. So I'm going to lead you through a couple of things, exercises. I do want to mention first off, one that I do first thing is called an adrenal massage, because hypoadrenalism is a big issue. Many people suffer from fatigue, depression, lethargy. Nutritional needs, electrolytes are important, water obviously is important. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a while, but doing an adrenal massage is a good thing to consider doing. I do that every single morning. Again, it's making sure your energy is going in the right direction. So basically it's a finger either side of the belly button and just drawing it up. You push in, draw it up to this position, then take your hands away. I do that maybe 5 or 6 times, and you just remove it from the body, otherwise you're bringing the energy back down towards you. The next thing I do is what they call collarbone breathing. It's for neurological disorganization. People say east when they mean west. This is when you can tell someone is disorganized, even in their physical gait. So it was devised by Dr. Roger Callahan, who started off with the Callahan technique. That became thought field therapy, which evolved into Gary Craig's emotional freedom technique. And I use a lot of different techniques, including tappers acupuncture technique, including 3-spot tapping for template issues and shock and trauma, etc. So I would urge you to consider doing this each and every day. It really makes a difference. So I'm going to go through this now. Again, this is collarbone breathing. I do this at the start of a lot of sessions, where especially when we're working on shock or trauma. So you take 2 fingers from one hand, you go across, here's the collarbone, you go across to the collarbone, place them underneath the collarbone, those 2 fingers. Then you take your other hand, place them on the back of the hand there, between the little finger and the next finger, and just start tapping there. And while you're tapping, take a nice deep breath and hold it. You hold that for a few seconds, let go of half of it, let go of the other half, and breathe in half. Good. And then you relax, breathe normally for a few seconds, and then you take your other hand, go across to the other side, again 2 fingers under the collarbone, same place to tap, take a nice deep breath and hold it for a few seconds. Let go of half of it, let go of the other half, and breathe in half. There we go. Rest, relax. So you've been across both sides, and the last 2 positions are on the same sides, meaning right on right, left on left, homolaterally. So if we do right on right, again under the collarbone, same place to tap, nice deep breath, let go of half of it, let go of the other half, breathe in half. Good, relax, breathe normally, and then the final one, again tapping in that same place between the little finger and next finger, take a nice deep breath and hold it. Let go of half of it, let go of the other half, breathe in half. Good, and relax, and that is collarbone breathing. So I urge you to consider doing that. Now, next up, I want to talk a little bit about performance. But if you are doing collarbone breathing, just a reminder, you can test on that. If people do applied kinesiology or muscle response testing or contact reflex analysis, it's known. If you get someone before you do the collarbone breathing, just get them to stand. You get them to put their 2 fingers there underneath the collarbone, stretch out their arm, place your arm here, gently try and push down until you recognize the level of strength they have. You ask them to hold and be as tight or as strong as possible. Do the same on the other side. Do that before you do collarbone breathing. Do it again afterwards, and you'll notice a difference in literally the physical strength that those people will have. And again, that applies to yourself. You will automatically have that, plus you'll be aligned mentally, physically, and spiritually to move on with any day-to-day stuff or to do some specific healing. Now, when we talk about performance, we have to think of our thoughts as well, because we have thoughts, images, food, drinks that can all be impacted and impacting our body in negative ways. So that's a good thing we can also use with applied kinesiology as well, by the way, or if we notice a shift in our energies. But if we look at performance, and we have to look at what makes up a great performance, well, it's ability, focus, and motivation. But what also does so is our mindset and energy state, and that's why I'm giving you these energy tune-up situations and techniques to be able to incorporate so you can have best performance. If we think of the 3 items on suicide status forms, they are psychic pain, suffering, they are press or pressures, the impinging of unbearable suffering in a sense, perturbations, that's intense state of emotional upset. It really impacts our perceptual constriction. It really creates impulsiveness, agitation, and an impulse for action. So very negative stuff. And if we can move this and shift this through doing things like this, it's going to alleviate a lot of stress. I mentioned hypoadrenalism. I mentioned water. If you don't think how much our thoughts, images, beliefs impact our vibrations, then I would urge you to check out Dr. Masaru Emoto's Messages from Water. It's quite amazing, and reminder that we are 70% made up of water. Now, these things can help us shift from anticipatory anxiety-based into excitement-based experiences, and I hope that's what you'll look at, as I'm now going to lead you through 4 other reversal correction points. You've got the neurological disorganization correction point, but the adrenal massage, I've mentioned that one for you. There's also another point. If you go to where the heart is in this area, I would urge you to press in. And if you have a tender point on you, you'll notice it. I've got a slight tender point there now. So what I urge you to do is you take fingers and you turn those fingers, moving to your left as you're looking down. There we go. So it's clockwise rub. This is a neurolymphatic reflex point. And what you're doing basically is getting that lymph back into circulation. When we've had emotional issues, it tends to build up there, and we can press in, and some mornings we're going, whoa, what is that? Well, this is a way to knead it back into circulation, so to speak. Now, another point is under the nose, on the upper lip. It's called the peak performance point, and all you do is tap on that particular point. Now, it's actually good for performance and test anxiety. I have shown this to kids at schools as well when they have test anxiety, and it's helped relax them, calm them. Now, there's another point. You can actually put one finger there, one finger underneath. These are the conception and governing vessel endpoints. If you then send your tongue to the roof of your mouth, like so, you can tap there and you're circulating everything moving around at that time to lessen anxiety and arrive at peak performance. And the final point I want to talk about is the side of the hand where you do a karate chop, small intestine spot. And I would urge you to tap there because that often helps collapse stuff we're not even fully aware of. Again, it's a relaxation point, and it's actually the final point of emotional freedom technique. If you know all the different points that represent the entire body, again, I would urge you to find out more about that and other energy medicine techniques. But I urge you to consider doing these daily energy tune-ups.